Hi guys, welcome back to GP Reactions. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And as always, thank you for subscribing. I'm going to now be listening to a track by Dexy's Midnight Runners. I don't think I've reacted to any Dexys before on this channel. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is a Top of the Pops version. And this track was taken from the album Searching for the Young Soul Rebels, entered the UK Top 40 on the 22nd of March. 1980, and it reached #1, so a really successful track for them. I'm hoping this doesn't get blocked. If it does, I'll come back and react to the audio version. So yeah, without further ado, this is Dexy's Midnight Runners with Geno. I've got to say, I'm going to pause it there. I really love this kind of like working man's look they've got from the 80s. There's a lot of people around where I used to live. They used to wear the what I used to call donkey jackets, and they used to wear the beanie sort of thing. And I do know that is the beginning of a video for Geno, if my memory serves me right. I wanted to react to the official video, but I can only find a partial video. But at the beginning of the video, they're walking through Birmingham city centre, and I just get real buzz when I see a song from that long ago, from 41 years ago, and they're walking places where I've actually set foot as well. It just kind of gives me this like warm feeling inside. I'm loving the fact that they've all got the instruments. It's very what's the word? It's got a lot of energy this performance has on Top of the Pops. Yeah, it's the first time I've actually seen this. I have seen the video, but I've never seen them perform on Top of the Pops. So this is great. I love the saxophones too, fantastic. Well, that was quite short. That was Top of the Pops version. Dexy's Midnight Runners with Geno, and I have to say it's really fantastic to see them on Top of the Pops. And that bit right at the end, it felt really triumphant and euphoric. Um, so I read a little bit about what this record was about beforehand, and it was basically a tribute to Geno Washington, and it wasn't just a tribute, it was really Kevin Rowland who really wanted to express his kind of love for what this guy was. He was a soul singer with the Ram Jam band, and he had a lot of success. But then I think in the 1970s he had a kind of a slow decline a little bit. So much so that I think Geno Washington was doing a psychotherapy course, and he then kind of heard about his record, and his record kind of kick-started him to want to kind of perform again in that kind of fashion. So it was kind of really weird sort of circle of evolution for the record, about the guy who then heard the record, who then was inspired to carry on his music career. I don't know if he ever completed his psychotherapy course, but it's a really interesting story, and I'm not sure how old Kevin Rowland was when he went to see Geno Washington play, but there was one bit in this performance, and because I read this story before I picked up this type of performance, I think it's about a minute or so in, and yeah, he gets down on his knees, and at that moment I kind of felt that he was a lot younger, and he was going to see Geno Washington, and he was trying to look over the crowd. So yeah, there's really kind of warm feeling to this, and it also felt like when somebody tells you a story and they really want you to kind of hear what's going on in that story. That's a bit there. It's almost like he's looking up to Geno Washington. I really love that, but yeah, it's like he's trying to tell a story and somebody's trying to tell you a story, and they're that enthusiastic about it. It sometimes comes over as a little bit full on and aggressive, but it was a wonderful performance on Top of the Pops, and I'm really kind of glad I saw this. I really hope it doesn't get blocked. Yeah, so guys, let me know what you think about this track, and I'd love to kind of delve into a few Dexy's tracks that maybe weren't kind of commercially successful. Obviously this one reached #1, which was fantastic, and I know very well the other #1 that they had, Come On Eileen. That was the soundtrack of one of my favourite summers, which was 82. But yeah, join me in the comments below. Give me your thoughts and feelings about this track. Let me know if there's anything else I could listen to from this band. I love the rawness of their performances, and that kind of really comes through. And I'll tell you something else as well, which I was thinking about halfway through this song. You hear a lot of bands that have an instant, there's something else around at that time that you could tell has inspired their sound, that has promoted maybe how they perform, but then certain times bands come along like Dexy Midnight Runners, and I think this is probably harks back to Northern Soul, but then back in 1980 people wouldn't have been, probably nobody I knew, I never heard of Northern Soul till about 20 years ago, and back in 1980 nobody would have been aware of Northern Soul at all. And yeah, it was years after the Soft Cell record that they heard. It was like a track by, I can't remember the name, Glory or something, that was like a Northern Soul track as well. So Northern Soul has obviously inspired a lot of bands, but then when you're listening to a top 40 or something with your kind of sort of post-disco, more funk disco songs, and you have your rock bands, and you have this beginning of the modern romantic music, this new wave music. I mean, all of a sudden, plonked right in the middle of it is this sort of Northern Soul reboot that you've never heard anything like it in your life. And this is how Dexy's Midnight Runners Geno felt at that time, and it was just an amazing song. I remember kind of singing it with a friend. We used to sing it all the time. But like I said, I never saw this Top of the Pops performance. I was too busy, kind of like running around in the road and stuff, and doing other stuff. And I was at that kind of age where I had like a semi kind of freedom. Where I was 13 years old, 1980s. Yeah, I was 14 years old. No, 13 years old. And I was just beginning to kind of go out without my parents on my back. I was never that kind of academically interested when I was at school. So I didn't have the worry of getting my homework right. I really didn't care. And my childhood memories of this song were really kind of fond. And I got a lot of nostalgia from listening to this. So yeah, join me in the comments. Let me know what you think. And until next time, take care of yourselves and have a great, great day.